we got to be strong at home, and we like to lead with our reservists. So this is a way of preparing the Army Reserve throughout Ontario to respond to crises.
We're in Toronto at the Denison Armory, where exercise Trillium response is being conducted. Today, I'm joined by Lieutenant Navy Ionson to tell us more. So can you tell us a little bit about the exercise?
This is part of our Trillium series of exercises. It's designed to help our Army Reserve members throughout the province of Ontario prepare for domestic response and emergencies within the province. It builds off of another exercise that we had called Trillium Dragon, which we held in the fall. There we had kind of the HQ elements go through a planning cycle and determine how they would employ their response companies in response to an ice storm. This one sees those companies executing that plan through a computer-assisted exercise. So providing kind of the typical tasks we would see during a major ice storm, some route clearance, wellness checks, delivery of critical supplies to people in need.
And this is a real-life simulation that's really meant to provide a challenging scenario for the members of JTFC. What kind of challenges are they up against?
So there's a ton of challenges they're going to be facing. One of the big ones is how do they integrate with the response efforts of the province that are ongoing. We're always operating in support of the province, so they got to figure out how best to fold themselves into the provincial plan to achieve the greatest effect. They're also, like everybody, short on resources. So a lot of times the list of requested effects exceeds the capacity that they have. So they have to work with the province in order to prioritize the requests so that they assist the most vulnerable first.
And there's obviously a lot of moving parts to this exercise and key players as well. What are their roles in that, and who are they?
Well, we've got our number one partner in the province here, Emergency Management Ontario. We work with them on every emergency that we support within the province. And we have some of their field officers here today to help provide some realism into our scenario and to help us. We draw on their knowledge and experience through past operations, and in order to help us forecast what would be most likely things we would encounter during a real operation.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, I'd like to give a shout out to the reservists throughout Ontario who come out to support domestic operations. Over the last 3 to 4 years, we saw a lot of them, and we had a huge amount of support from the Army Reserve, Navy Reserve, and the Canadian Rangers. In particular, those Canadian Rangers provided pandemic support, vaccine support, and flood and forest fire support in our remote First Nations communities in Ontario. They're members of those communities themselves, and they do great work every year.
Thanks so much for chatting with us.
Thank you.